During his stay at Palakotu, Ramana ashram grew rapidly, and many visitors started coming to the ashram. Kunju Swami needed Bhagavan to talk to him every day, even if it was only one sentence. However, with Bhagavan becoming very busy, this was becoming increasingly difficult. Kunju Swami recalled gleefully, "I am a very clever man. Every evening we had Parayana of the Tamil verses composed by Bhagavan from the collected works of Ramana Maharshi. I used to deliberately miss one line while singing, and Bhagavan would say, 'Hey, Kunju, you have missed that line.' Or I would mispronounce a word, and he would say, 'No, no, Kunju, it is not like that. Pronounce it properly.' I would be so happy that he spoke to me. Every day, whenever I wanted Bhagavan to talk to me, I knew the trick." The collected works of Ramana Maharshi in Tamil was released in the form of a book. Unfortunately, many sadhus could not afford to buy them from the ashram. So Bhagavan arranged with a devotee to write it all down in a notebook and hand it over to Kunju Swami. A small printed picture of Bhagavan was pasted there in it. Now, Kunju Swami wanted his copy of the collected works of Ramana Maharshi to also have a picture of Arunachala, but he could not get hold of one. While he was still thinking about it, Bhagavan called out to him, "Kunju, bring your notebook." He then drew a picture of Arunachala in it. Kunju Swami left this notebook with Anuradha, another devotee, as a legacy. It contains a lot of Bhagavan's handwriting and the picture drawn by Bhagavan. She has now handed over this precious treasure to the ashram archives. Bhagavan used to correct all the proofs of his books himself. He would ask for 2 sets of proofs. One he would correct and send to the press, and the other he would keep with himself. There were often so many errors that the same proof would be sent to the press 4 or 5 times. Bhagavan carefully kept a copy of every proof and would finally bind 4 or 5 copies and distribute them. He kept the proof with the maximum errors for himself, while he would give the better ones to Kunju Swami and those disciples who could not afford to buy these books. This is how kind and compassionate Bhagavan was. Once Kunju Swami felt he could not continuously meditate or pursue self-inquiry and stay in the self. He confessed to Bhagavan, "Bhagavan, I am not able to do this. The flow gets interrupted." Bhagavan said, "Why? It is very easy. Before you go to sleep, meditate and go into the self. Then, when you fall asleep, your whole sleep will be a meditation of staying in the self. The moment you wake up in the morning, again go into meditation for a few minutes and remain as the self. Then, throughout the waking state, the undercurrent of remaining in the self will be there even though you are working, arguing, or quarreling. This substratum will always keep you in the self." Kunju Swami said, "This is the most beautiful and practical teaching I have received from Bhagavan." During Bhagavan's last days, the management of the ashram had to face many problems. The devotees did not know how to continue with their activities. So along with Kunju Swami, they approached Bhagavan. He told them, "How is the management being carried out now? Do you think it is you or somebody else that is managing it?" "There is a higher power which is managing all of this. The same higher power will continue to manage." When Bhagavan was to drop his body, the devotees again wanted guidance, saying, "What should we devotees do?" They wondered anxiously. Kunju Swami and 20 other devotees went to Bhagavan and prayed, "Bhagavan, please guide us." Then he gave his last message, which is not only to those 20 devotees, but also to all of us. He said, "Put the teaching into practice." He would enthrall us with stories of the Master, and whatever I am sharing with you is prasad from Kunju Swami. It is Kunju Swami who has given us a wealth of information, all the reminiscences about other devotees, about Bhagavan's relationship with them, his beautiful relationship with monkeys and animals, men, trees, and plants, with the sacred Arunachala hill, as well as the rocks and the sands. We are all deeply grateful to Kunju Swami. I can never forget his solicitude to me. I had given Kunju Swami Chadwick's old room, and he said, "Ganesan, come and stay with me in the next room." Even though I was an adult and held a responsible position in the ashram, he looked after me as if I was a child. He was so kind. I had appointed 2 attendants to look after him as he experienced a lot of physical pain. These attendants did their duty very well, but sometimes they made blunders. Kunju Swami never complained. One day I asked him, "Swami, are they all looking after you properly?" "They are looking after me very well. In fact, today I wanted to call and tell you that I would like to break some good news to humanity." Puzzled by his words, I asked, "Swami, what are you talking about?" And he said, "Do you know these muscular pains can be cured with a massage using honey?" I still did not understand. I learned later that there was a jar of honey kept next to the jar of brown oil, which was to be massaged onto Kunju Swami's body to relieve his muscular pain. His attendants, mistaking the honey for the oil, had been massaging Kunju Swami's body with it. It obviously did not prove useful, but all Kunju Swami said was, "I wanted to announce a medical breakthrough, but it did not work." He used to get his point across indirectly without complaining, despite being in so much pain. Toward his end, he was almost bedridden. He could not even sit up. Anirada, a few others, and I would visit him and try to amuse him. We used to ask him to tell us something about Bhagavan's verses, and he would come alive. Anirada's son, Shankar, had finished school and was soon to leave for America to study medicine. He was very fond of Kunju Swami because he had been almost brought up by him. He knew that when he returned from America the next time, Kunju Swami would no longer be among us, and this saddened him deeply. Kunju Swami wanted to cheer him up, while we tried to amuse him. I put a question to Kunju Swami, saying, "In Bhagavan's Tamil translations of Shankara's works, which song do you like?" Kunju Swami steadied himself and looked at me, but I continued, "Swami, I like the song where it is said, 'I am the self, I am awareness.' And Anirada likes the song where it says, 'You are the self, you are that.' Whose side are you going to be on?" And Kunju Swami said, "Let her sing first." The first song she sang was the Hastamalaka Stotram, which says, "I am that." Then she sang the Guru Stuti, which says, "You are that." I asked Kunju Swami, "Swami, To which party do you belong? Do you belong to I am that, or you are that? Kunju Swami smiled at us. What is the difference between you and I? In you are that, the important word is are, not you or that. Both get merged in the are. In I am that, the important word is am, not I or that. Be the I am. He passed away a few days after listening to those beautiful songs. On his last night, he asked his attendants to remove the cushions from his wooden bed and help him sit in Padmasana. I am going to meditate, he declared. He remained in deep meditation while his attendants slept. After 2 hours, when they awoke and touched him, his body was cold. He had passed away in that silence. His heart will always be in Arunachala, at the feet of Satguru Ramana.